There's no doubt that we're going to win.
It's no split here. We was, just want to send a message.
We left no doubt.
We do leave no doubt when we're on the field. We left no doubt. I think in all the minds of everybody across the country that we are the number one team in the America.
To Heritage Hall. The 2004 National Championship really speaks for itself, but if you think about it, it was a unique and remarkable season. The USC Trojans were undefeated. That hasn't happened here in 32 years. They started the season number one. They finished the season number one. That's wire-to-wire champions, and what that means, folks, is every Saturday, teams had their crosshairs on the big bullseye on that Cardinal and gold jersey, and USC was still able to get it done.
We knew we were staying, and we knew that we were bringing a lot of people back, and it was just up to us to stay focused and work hard. Coach Carlisle preaches downstairs in the training room first that it's all about finish.
We're the best conditioned team in the country, and we're the smartest team in the country. We don't make mistakes at the end. We don't make mistakes. We don't put ourselves in bad situations. We win every play, and we don't lose it at the end. That's what we're about. That's what USC is. That's why we're the best.
It was very special, thing we got going on at this school, because even after we won the Rose Bowl and we were named number one in the nation and national champions and all that, everybody still wanted to come back and work more. Everybody stayed hungry, and there was no one person on the team that felt like we accomplished everything. Everybody still wanted to come back and work hard and do it again.
I like being the hunted. I like people having fear of me. I like being number one. And so that's our legacy at USC.
The Trojans faced a daunting challenge to open the 2004 season.
That was a great challenge for us. It was a great opener, and one that we needed. I looked at that game when I was looking at the schedule as the game that would most fit the matchup that we may be able to find if we got to the Orange Bowl at the end of the year. Going across country, different weather situation, huge crowd, all of that stuff, a lot of hype, like a bowl game going in.
It had to be at least 80% of their fans were Virginia Tech fans. So we were really in there, with by ourselves and with the little fans that we did have. And, like I said, we played in a hostile environment.
Hey, all the energy that we need is in this room right here. Feed off of one another. Trojan Brothers been coming together for a long time, fellas. We get a chance to go out and showtime. Let's make sure everybody just plays their ass off and we support one another the whole time. Great effort, great enthusiasm, play smarter. And let's have ourselves the ball. Come on, bro! Let's go! Let's go! Trojans on three! You got it! Trojans on three! 1, 2, 3! Let's do that!
Over 91,000 spectators were on hand to watch the opening game of the college football season. The Trojans made the game's first big play.
Randall drops the throw, looks over the middle, it is batted up in the air, intercepted by Cooper, 20-yard line, out to the 30, he's up to 35, looking for a block to the 40, still on his feet to the 50-yard line, into Virginia Tech territory.
Then the nation was introduced to Reggie Bush.
Little flip behind is the screen, got Bush out, no man's land, he's going to go all the way, touchdown USC, little screen over the middle, had nothing but blockers in front of him, and the Trojans are on the board on a screen pass to Reggie Bush.
But the USC offense became stagnant in the second quarter. The Hokies put together 2 scoring drives, and the Trojans found themselves trailing 10-7 at the half.
This half is all about us sitting in this room right now to go get and make something happen. Everybody just play, do your stuff. Do your stuff, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Let's go, fellas. They ain't got for us. They know we're second half team. They're scared, baby. They're scared. They know we're going to play in the second half. I want you to get your energy going. I want to get it going. I want you to believe one another. I want you to do stuff. Do shit all over you. Do stuff. Let's go, baby.
Matt Leinart got hot in the second half, completing 11 of 13 passes, and once again, Bush provided a spark.
Drops the pass again. Looking long. Has a man open, but he can't catch up. But he does. Reggie Bush at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, USC. Matt Leonard to Reggie Bush for the second time tonight. And the Trojans take the lead.
Bush's 53-yard touchdown catch put SC up 14-10. After a Hokie field goal, Leinart and Bush connected for a third time.
Long throw. Looking for Bush. He's wide open. Touchdown, USC.
That was a design, we were out. It was kind of it kind of creates a pick, because the receiver runs a slant, and if someone comes with the linebacker, he has to run out there with you. It was just a great call, at the right time, and it ended up working out for us, and I was wide open, and was able to have my team score a big touchdown.
With the score 21-13, quarterback Brian Randall tried to rally the Hokies, but Mike Patterson capped off a monster game with a forced fumble that the Trojans recovered. Ryan Colleen's field goal made the final score 24-13, and the Trojan locker room was in a mood to celebrate.
What's up, LJ? I'm good. Look like them Trojans showed up to play in the back room today. Something very special has happened for us since we've been together. We have found a way to finish better than anybody in the world, man, and you did it again tonight. I'm so proud of you. Let's hear Hey, listen up now. If there was a doubt in your mind in the first half, I can understand that. It wasn't quite the way we thought it would go. It ain't always going to be easy. People going to give us their best shot every day. They did, and they got their ass kicked in the fourth quarter, just the way we always want to do it. Just make sure we hang all the way through, because, can you win in the first quarter? No! Can you win in the second quarter? No! Can you win in the third quarter? No! Can you win in that fourth quarter? Yeah! We can. Right, we can. How about Reggie Bush? 3 bad big red collar! Hey, listen, we got a great opportunity now, fellas. Let's be classy as hell. We're going to take care of business. We ain't screwing this thing up. We just got started. This was a hell of a matchup. It was a really fired-up football team with a bunch of good athletes, good coaches, the whole thing. Check this out. When we get back, we're preparing to play in the Coliseum. Yeah! We're going to the Coliseum. It'll be so much fun. They'll be falling out the freaking rafters to come see our Trojans. It's going to be awesome. President Sample, you better be at that game next time we come out of Colorado State. I want to hear a song we haven't heard for a long time, for real, since last time we won in the Rose Bowl, so let's hear it. We got 2 times to do it. Fight on for the sea, on the victory. Oh, Martin, look up to you. Fight on the win for the sea, fight on the victory, fight on.
The Trojans came home to the Coliseum, and home is where the heart is. Just as the record-setting number of fans that came through the gates in 2004, make no doubt about it, the swagger is back. In fact, the Trojans played in front of more than 500,000 of their own and shattered school and conference attendance records that dated back decades. The evening was highlighted by the unveiling of the national championship banner.
Get ready for the best shot in football!
The coaches were just as excited as the players.
That's right. I like it. I like it. It always will be. Forever has been about us. What's really good about that? It's just the kind of guys that we have around here, the guys we love. We love each other. We love the things that we do together. You love your coaches. We get to play for one another today. It will always be about us. Leave nothing out there. Let's have ourselves a hell of a day today. Bring my boys. Let's go. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Lendale White powered the Trojan offense with the first of 3 touchdown runs. White would finish the game with 123 yards on only 14 carries. Colorado State was driving early in the second quarter, but a senior leader on the Trojan defense made a big play.
The right side, and Holland throws, intercepted. Picked off by Matt Grunegood going down the sidelines. And Matt running just as fast as he can travel. But they finally get him at the 33-yard line.
Matt Grunegood's interception gave USC great field position. Matt Leinart immediately looked to throw it deep, and he found Chris McFoy at the 1.
Still looking, got a man in the corner over here. A little bit late getting him the ball, but he made the catch down at the 1-yard line. Chris McCoy.
From there, White pulled his way in for his second TD. The Trojan offense proved too much for the Rams' D.
There's the pass completed, and it is Steve Smith down to the 3-yard line. This goes to the running back. The tailback, Lindale White, big guy, touchdown. That's 3 touchdowns for Lindale White tonight.
The USC defense made another big play. This time, it was Jason Leach recovering a fumble. Leinart led a 96-yard drive with Reggie Bush getting his turn at pay dirt. The Trojans went into the half up 28-0.
Hey, this is a great opportunity for us. It's a great learning opportunity for us how to play this game right now. I want to make sure that it's really clear. They're going to come out with their offense when they get their chance. They got to run the football. They can't just come out and throw it all the time. You have to send the message to them, defense, that you're there. You understand how to play football all down in distances. Don't give them a freaking breath of air on running the football. Then it'll turn into a throwing game later on. Make it happen that way. Offense, we're up first right now. This is time to finish a football game with attitude. The whole fourth quarter, the whole third quarter, everybody kicks out. Everybody gets out. We ain't stopping for nothing. You hear what I'm saying? We ain't stopping for nothing. Let's go. Call this thing up. Let's go. We got Trojans on 3. 1, 2, 3. Trojans. Jeff, go. Let's go. Let's go. We get to play for 30 more minutes.
The Trojans continue to dominate.
Intercepted by Matt Rudiger, his second of the night.
Leinart hooked up with Smith for a 35-point advantage.
Touchdown, Steve Smith.
The Trojans intercepted 2 consecutive Ram passes.
Justin Holland getting some heat, but gets it off. Intercepted. Dallas Starks dropped deep and intercepted it.
Then Leinart gave a birthday present to 18-year-old freshman Dwayne Jarrett.
This is a great experience, and Matt, he was looking for me the whole way, and he just told me just to go up and get the ball, and that's what I did. I had a little bit of drops, like two drops in the first half, so I was a little bit down on myself about that, but he kept going to me, and I finally got in the end zone. It was just a great experience. I could ask for a better birthday gift.
Even the Trojan defense got a chance to put up some points.
It's fumble. It's picked up. It is touchdown. Manuel Wright for Southern California.
I think Swigert had a big hit on that play to get that thing started. But, yeah, that was fun. It's always fun to see the big guys rumble.
Final score, USC 49, Colorado State 0. Nothing. The #1 ranked Trojans had no doubters on this day. #1 ranked USC made its first trip ever to Provo, Utah, home of Brigham Young University. It was a homecoming of sorts for offensive coordinator Norm Chow, who spent 27 years as an assistant at BYU. After a scoreless first quarter, the Trojans briefly fell behind 3-0, but the team responded with 21 unanswered points.
They throw it, middle screen, and there's Bush. Score against Virginia Tech on this, and they'll score against BYU tonight. Here's Bush right up the middle. Looks to the outside, he's gone. 40, 30, 20, 10, touchdown, 66 yards, Reggie Bush. Pass from end zone, Jarrett for the touchdown.
Meanwhile, the defense was led by All-American Sean Cody, who recorded 3 sacks in the ballgame. After halftime, the Trojans continued to pile up yardage. Reggie Bush enjoyed the first 100-yard rushing day of his USC career, and Lindale White also went over the century mark.
Me and Lindale, like you said, we've done a great job. We complement each other really well, in games, and it's hard for defenses to game plan both of us.
All right, baby, gotta take it home. Then in the fourth quarter, senior running back Lee Webb joined the scoring party with his first career touchdown.
It was a great moment for our younger guys and guys that look up to Lee and have had so much fun with him as a friend and as a teammate. To see him get that opportunity and bang it home, and he smoked in that end zone pretty well, and everybody had fun with it and got all jacked up about it. So it was just a kind of an exchange of respect, in an obvious way from the younger guys to Lee, and he's well deserving.
Players and coaches were in a mood to celebrate the 42-10 road victory.
First off, let's never take these victories so lightly that we don't have a blast with it, man. That's a beautiful night of football. We went out there, we seized the momentum of the night, we took it over. That's a hell of a job. Let's not remember, these accomplishments are hard, man. They're hard to just keep getting these ones. We're just going to keep tacking them on. Tonight was a special night. To come back to Utah, to come back to BYU, where the guy spent 27 years. I need to I'm just so happy to be a part of you. That's been done. I'm just so proud to be a part.
USC traveled to the farm to take on Stanford in the 2004 Pac-10 opener.
It's a difficult place to play. There's not a lot of energy in that stadium, and it does challenge you some in that regard. It's just an unusual kind of an environment. Even some of the leaders, we just felt like something wasn't right, in the warm-ups, when we were warming up for the game. We just felt like, something wasn't right.
He's got a combo in the running room. To the 20, to the 10, gets down to the 1-yard line.
SC grabbed early momentum.
Liner looking tied, touchdown USC.
With the score 10-0, Trojans fans may have been thinking about a blowout. But Stanford quickly regrouped behind quarterback Trent Edwards. While the USC offense sputtered, Stanford pulled out every trick in the book.
We started really fast in that game, but they were up to the task, and we weren't stopping them. They did a nice job on offense, probably their best game of the year.
Late in the second quarter, Troy was able to respond.
1 minute to play in the half. Different motion. Bush looking, bounces to the outside. This is trouble. It's also a touchdown for the Trojans.
But the Cardinal had time for another highlight play.
Edwards can take a lead here in 15 seconds and now let the half. Turning it all 11, running it all wrapped up as Jar breaks through, up the middle, he may go, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, do you believe it? How about that one? Unbelievable.
It was one of the real turning points in the season, I think, for us emotionally as a football team, because they scored right at the end of the half. They're out ahead of us. I clearly remember as we're approaching the locker room, the banter of the players. They were already on the subject that we weren't going to let this happen.
2 quarters, a long time, baby. 2 quarters, a long time. And we have to go back 60 minutes, right? Go back, right? We've been saying it for a long time. We know exactly how it works. It ain't the first quarter. It ain't the second quarter. It starts happening in the third and the fourth quarter. We take this sucker together. You all know that. But you got to do it by doing things right. That's what's most important that you remember. Ain't no made up. You can't make it up and expect it to work for you. Let's go take it piece by piece by piece and put this thing right back in our control. What time is it? What time is it? Get this go! With the run back, score, goes on 3, 1, 2, 3,
After giving up 291 yards in the first half, the Trojan D surrendered only 36 yards and 2 first downs the rest of the ball game. Meanwhile, Matt Leinart looked to hook up with his favorite target.
Just dumps it off. Smith, running room, breaks a tackle. Still on his feet, inside the 20-yard line.
Leinart called his own number, and the Trojans trailed 28-24 in the fourth quarter. USC still needed a big play from someone. Reggie Bush answered the call.
Bush looks for the wall. He's got the wall. Works through. Still on his feet. Puts to the 50. Still going. Still on the 50. Jumps over a tackle. Gets down to the 40-yard line.
Well, that was a spectacular play. Gosh, that was an unbelievable play. The guys making miss the spinning and running and his determination. Reggie really showed some tremendous fight and spirit in that game.
3 plays later, it was 3rd and long, and Chris McFoy made his biggest play ever.
Pass is caught inside the 30. First down, Chris McFoy.
Lendale White carried the load from that point.
Again, touchdown, USC.
The defense held off the Cardinal on their last drive, and USC escaped with a hard-fought victory.
Complete, USC will take over.
That was really a defining moment, I think, as a team. It showed what kind of character we have to come back from a deficit, 2 touchdowns, and to come back and beat a solid team away. It showed a lot of character, showed what type of team we have, and that we could come back, and it really kind of was a stepping stone for the rest of the season.
When the 2004 schedule came out, there was one game that stood out to everybody. That was against the Cal Bears. When it was all said and done, it was probably college football's game of the year. Over 90,000 football fans flooded the Coliseum to see number 1 USC take on number 7 Cal. ESPN's College Game Day crew made their first ever visit to downtown Los Angeles. The Trojans were looking to avenge their only loss from the 2003 season.
It was hyped up to almost to like a national championship game. It was, we lost to them last year. It was our only loss last year, and it's become a rival. I would say. There's a lot of talent on each team, so it's going to be a great game, and it was.
On their opening possession, the Trojans were faced with a key 4th down.
4th and 10. And put it up. Throw it down the middle. The receiver goes way up in the air. 6'5". Blaine Jarrett, the freshman from New Brunswick, New Jersey, and makes the catch for a first down.
It was an in route, and Matt, I seen he was coming to me. He was looking at me the whole way, so he threw it up high, and I just had to go up and just make a play. And as I made the play, I got flipped in the air, but I still held onto the ball, took people drive a lot. So that definitely was the start to a great finish.
Leinart then connected with Lendale White to give SC the lead. After Mike Patterson recovered a fumble, Matt Leinart looked to go deep.
Leinart's passes away down the middle, completed to Steve Smith. And Smith inside the 5-yard line. First and goal, USC.
Ryan Killeen kicked a field goal for a 10-0 lead. Hunter Tom Malone had a big game, and his 62-yard kick resulted in another Cal turnover that USC turned into 3 more points. Then the teams traded field goals before Cal finally got in the end zone with a Rogers TD pass. Rogers finished the half a perfect 14 for 14, but most of those were underneath.
We try to keep everything in front of us, If we have to give up those, those 5-yard routes and stuff like that, we'll just rally up and make the tackle, He was settling for those 5-yard routes.
Killeen kicked his 3rd field goal of the half, and the Trojans went into the locker room up 16-10.
We gotta be one voice the whole way through. Listen up. This is second halftime. This is our time to go to work. This is our time to just do it right. No penalties, no bullshit, just executing all the way through this half. Outlast the and wear them out. They're probably kind of liking what it looks like right now. They ain't seen us before. They ain't seen what we can do. Let's get this thing wrapped up and go. Ball's coming down. Let's go, baby. Get it started. Trojans on 3.
second half, Leinart again hooked up with number 2.
Leinart, he's back to throw. As time passes away, pass is completed to Steve Smith, and Smith is taken out of bounds at the 12-yard line.
Unfortunately for the Trojans, Smith injured his leg on the play, and their leading receiver would miss 5 games. So Matt Leinart looked to his big freshman target. Jarrett's TD catch put SC up 23-10, but then Rogers was able to lead Cal on another long-scoring drive. Tailback Marshawn Lynch punched it in. Then it was time for Reggie Bush.
Looking up into the sun, that's a good kick. It's 2 yards deep in the end zone, blocked by Bush, finally picked up by Bush, and coming up to the 10-15, out to the 20-25. Oh, here we go. All the way to the 16-yard line.
But a rare Leinart mistake gave the ball back to Cal. Then Patterson made another All-American play.
Rogers sacked. Ankle fumble, and the Trojans have come out of there with it. Mike Patterson, the first man to get him, and apparently knocked the ball out of there.
Late in the fourth quarter, Cal was on the verge of a monumental upset with first and goal from the USC 9. What followed were 4 plays that became part of USC's storied football history.
First and goal at the 9. California owns the ball. SC 9. Rogers back. Passes away into the end zone. It is incomplete. It was intended for Noah Smith. Justin Wyatt defended. Chance to win the ball game for California right here. Rogers looking around and tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Manuel White.
To fight for those last 4 plays on the 9-yard line, man. You know, it's for the 4 plays for, they've been driving all day, we were tired, and guys were, waiting. Coach Cole played timeout and just, said, let's play ball for these last 4 plays, just show them, what we got. And, Manny came up with a big sack.
2 plays. Terrell Williams and J.J. Harrington are both at the backfield. Now that's Williams, the tailback, going outside. Rogers back, pressure coming, looking around, shopping. Throws, end zone, no. Pass intended for Jeff MacArthur, defended by Eric Wright. 4th down from the 14. Rogers throws, end zone, no.
That's the stuff you're doing about stopping the team, go on stand, bring your home crowd, win the game. It's the stuff you're doing about. And it was awesome. I love the way that thing finished. Yeah, I love the challenge of it, and the build-up, and the Coliseum was crazy and nuts and all that. And there was this bunch of guys just banded together to win a football game, at that moment. It was really, really special.
That stand wrote another chapter in Trojan football lore. The final score was 23-17, and the Trojans were 5-0.
Not today! Not today! Not gonna happen! You just did not let it happen!
Victory! All I want here is up to you!
For the second week in a row, the Trojans hosted an undefeated Pac-10 rival. Number 15 ranked Arizona State was led by record-setting quarterback Andrew Walter.
The Arizona State game was a game that brought a challenge in itself. I guess the media challenged you to, can you come back after a big win and play well? And our guys just came out flying.
A sold-out Coliseum watched the USC offense jump out to an early lead.
Drops the ball. Man chasing him, steps away, throws it now, and has a man outside on the cones. Alex makes the catch, goes on down the sideline, and makes it first and goal at the Arizona State 9-yard line. And it's passed to the goal line. Touchdown, Bush.
Walter got set the Sun Devils in scoring position on their next series, but big Sean Cody kept them off the scoreboard. Later in the quarter, Leinart tossed his second touchdown.
And Leinart looking to throw it close to White. White pounds to the goal line and into the end zone. Touchdown.
Linebacker Matt Grudegood made his fourth interception of the year and returned it all the way to the Sun Devil 19. Leinart looked for his favorite red zone target.
Leinart's pass to the corner. Touchdown. Wayne Jarrett.
But we saw what we could do in fall camp against a great defense. And we knew it was just a matter of just gaining that confidence. And really, since the Cal game, he just took off.
Up 28-7 late in the half, the Trojan offensive machine didn't let up.
Coming around. Bush is going to throw it. He's got a man wide open. Jarrett. It's now a foot race to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown.
Then the Sun Devils made a costly mistake. They punted to Reggie Bush.
Makes the catch. That man's right in his face. He made the catch. Got away from another one. Got away from another one. Getting a little help now on the blocking. Look out. Look out. One man. Two men. Stepped out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
You know, I've been saying I think he's the best player in college football. Most versatile, does the most.
Don't stop the highlight reel.
And Leinart had time to throw his fourth TD pass.
Leinart looking deep. Got his man. Touchdown. Wayne Jarrett.
Jarrett tied a school record with his 3 touchdown catches.
I know what I can do. I just have to get comfortable and, let the game come to me. So I'm going to make plays, and, that's what I've been doing ever since.
USC led at the half 42-7, the most points by a Trojan team in a half since 1981. After halftime, the Trojan D continued to dominate.
And split out. Only getting some heat. Down he goes. Way back inside the 25-yard line. Sean Cody.
Walter was held to 181 yards passing and was picked off twice after entering the game with only 1 interception all year.
Walter puts a lot of air under it and has it intercepted by Darnell Main.
When the final gun sounded, USC had a 45-7 victory and a firm hold on first place in the Pac-10. Traditional Pac-10 power Washington came to the Coliseum for USC's 3rd straight home game. With an election right around the corner, Trojan fans did some creative campaigning. From the start, it was apparent that USC's defense was simply too much for the Huskies to handle.
We started out really well defensively, and really they didn't have a chance in that game to get going. And it was a great defensive week in preparation for the option football that we were going to see, and we took a lot of pride in it.
But the Trojan offense was off to a slow start. Not until late in the second quarter did Matt Leinart get SC into the end zone.
Quick drop, throw on the fade, looking for Bush. He's got it! Touchdown, USC!
Up 10 at the half, the team was focused on putting up more points.
Hey, listen up. Listen up. I want to see you respond right now. I know you didn't like what happened in the first half. They ain't scored. They ain't got freaking close yet. We're going to make sure and keep that going for offense. Let's execute. Let's do what we know how to do.
Frosty Rucker recovered a fumble on the Huskies' first play in the third quarter. Then the Trojans got behind Lendale White.
Hand off. And it's Lendale White up the middle on the right side. Dances into the end zone. Touchdown, USC. Lendale White.
The bruising sophomore tailback finished the game with 2 touchdowns and 93 yards rushing as USC logged almost 40 minutes of possession time.
We're just telling everyone, pretty much, get ready. We're going out the second half, and we're going to take it to them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We know we can win in the first, second, or third quarter. It's all about fourth and how you finish the game.
Midway through the third quarter, Leinart hooked up with senior wideout Jason Mitchell. It was Mitchell's first career TD. With reserves playing most of the fourth quarter, special teams standout Desmond Reed scored his first career touchdown after a tightrope walk down the right sideline.
What a run by Desmond Reed.
Meanwhile, the Trojan defense never let up, holding Washington to 113 total yards and just 6 first downs. The 38-0 final was USC's first shutout over the Huskies since 1965. After 3 weeks of sunny skies at the Coliseum, USC traveled to Pullman, Washington, where they were faced with a hungry opponent and also wet, stormy conditions that included some pregame hail.
It's always kind of windy and cold up there, but then as luck would have it, the clouds came in right before game time and knocked us with a bunch of hail, in pregame warm-ups. And their fans thought that was going to affect us in some way. All right, guys, they were jumping up and down and going crazy. Got more excited about the fact that we were challenged by the weather and that it wasn't going to be an issue.
Momentum immediately swung towards the Trojans on the opening kickoff. Neal advised onside kick gave SC great field position, and 5 plays later, Reggie Bush capitalized.
Here's Bush, takes it outside, got the corner, inside the 10, he's gone. Touchdown USC, just like that.
After Desmond Reed recovered a fumble on the ensuing kickoff.
It's a free ball. USC's got it.
It took only 2 more plays for Lendell White to punch it in.
At the Washington State line, Lendell White left side, touchdown Trojans. And we are only 2.5 minutes into the ball game. It is 14-0.
Midway through the first quarter, Reggie Bush struck again.
This time Reggie fields it at the 43. Wide side, got a block across midfield. Now reverses his field. Look out! He gets one more look. He's gone. Reggie Bush down the sideline. Forget about it. It's another Trojan touchdown.
In the second quarter, Matt Leinart connected with Dwayne Jarrett.
Leinart to throw deep middle. Jarrett's got it inside the 15. And he'll score. Touchdown.
Then SC's All-American defensive tackles teamed up to make a big play.
Here comes a blitz again. He steps up and goes down. Mike Patterson. Sean Cody, I think's the guy that made the hit. Patterson cleans up those 2 tackles that we've been talking about.
White scored his second TD, and the score was 35-0 at the half.
It's really important how we play together. Do we have the spirit to play together? And where they're at now, just because we love playing football. You need a hell of a half. Everybody gets a chance to contribute, but it won't be working if we don't play.
In the third quarter, Jarrett scored his second touchdown.
Jarrett, to the top of your screen. Leinart hits that way. Throws to in. Touchdown.
Meanwhile, SC's defense held the Cougars to 165 total yards and 11 first downs and forced 4 turnovers.
Here's a long ball. Intercepted.
Washington State did manage to score, but the outcome was never in doubt as USC cruised to a 42-12 victory.
Let's never forget about winning, fellas, and how sweet it is to come together, take our crew on the road, and go put it together again. I'm telling you, it's scaring the piss out of anybody who's going to see us. We got to go on the road, one more big trip next week. Let's make sure we knock that thing out. It ain't going to be a whole lot different in this setting. It's going to be very similar. We know how to do this really well. So let's make sure we take advantage of this and make it a hell of a finish to this road season, all right? We come back 3 games at home, and then after that, let's make sure we get this done.
It was a cold and foggy night in Corvallis as USC prepared to take on Oregon State.
The setting was so unique with the fog that was there. Very, very interesting night to go out there.
When we get it together, we do the deer call.
Oregon State was fired up and took advantage of the Trojans' lack of experience playing in poor visibility. 2 field goals and a Derek Anderson touchdown pass put Oregon State up 13-0 in the second quarter.
Obviously with the fog, that was the first time we ever played in that type of atmosphere, with the fog and hardly being able to see, and it affected us a little bit, but we adjusted to it.
And here's a reverse to Bush. He's got the whole field. 40, 45, midfield to the 45. Still at his feet at the 40, 35. Cuts inside of the 25 to the 20. And that'll take care of a lot of frustration right there.
Matt Leinart went gunning for the end zone.
Leinart straight back, throws to the end zone. What a grab by Dominique Byrne. A great grab. He was covered as well as you can cover him.
What a shot beyond for this USC Trojan offense, finally getting on the board, putting together some semblance of a drive.
Down 13-7 at the half, the Trojans were feeling confident.
Ain't never been a game won in the first half. It ain't happening like that. No one knows that. What's going to happen here is what we do right now from this point on. We got about 2 minutes before we get here. I want this house juiced up when we get here. When we open those doors, we're going to work and go get ourselves a win.
Lofa Tatupu
Tupu's interception gave SC early momentum in the third. Then Leinart once more looked to his big tight end.
Burge is wide open, took it down on the streak, and scores.
Number 86 is too dangerous to be left that open. Anderson led the Beavers into SC territory and was looking for the go-ahead score.
Play fake this time. Anderson narrowed down, broke it off for Haas. Can't hang on to the second. Picked off in the end zone by Leach.
The score was still 14-13 when OSU punted early in the fourth quarter.
Bush takes the big hop. Boy's the first man. Now look out. If he gets back there, he's gone. Midfield. One man to beat. And he's going to beat him easily, and this is going to be a USC touchdown. Kicking away from Reggie Bush all day. But the one time you don't, he'll beat you.
Later in the fourth, Lindale White pounded it in as part of his 100-yard night. OSU scored a late touchdown, but the Trojans recovered the onside kick and went on to celebrate a 28-20 win on an eerie, crazy night in Oregon.
This was a hell of a night. It wasn't easy at all. It was exactly what the Trojans can answer to. We needed to get back together. We needed to go to that locker room. That's a great second half finish, all the way through the whole thing. Both sides of the ball, you just took the game over. Hell, they couldn't do nothing about it. It was a great finish. One more time! I want to recognize two guys, too. I want to recognize the two coaches that just will not frickin' let it up. You can't get any more from a guy than you can get from T. Davis. How about the way he Hey, Coach M, Coach O, Coach O.
The Trojans returned to the Coliseum for a homecoming matchup with Arizona and their new head coach, Mike Stoops.
You have a chance to play against a new program, a new coach. You always want to send a message to them that the first time they play, that you can play them tough and they can expect us to always be there. And we wanted to leave a message with them that might carry over.
After a sluggish start, the Trojans scored on the first play of the second quarter.
Leinart looking to the end zone, throws, touchdown. Catch is made by David Kirkman.
Later in the half, Desmond Reed did his best impersonation of Matt Leinart.
Here's the reverse Desmond Reed. He's going to throw. He's got Jarrett at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and out of bounds at about the 3-yard line.
One play later, Lindale White did his thing for a 14-3 Trojan lead.
Hey, check this out, fellas. When we come back in this locker room, we're coming back in this locker room for the champion. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go in there as champion. It's showtime, baby.
What's up, baby?
After halftime, the Trojans marched downfield on an 11-play drive.
And this is White, and White skips into the end zone, touchdown Trojans.
Number 21 powered his way to his fourth 100-yard game of the year, including this 54-yard rumble that set up another TD.
35, spins off a tackler at the 25 to the 20, and finally down at the 18-yard line.
Lindale White taking it on a zone play, winding it back behind Sam Baker, taking it to the end zone and handing it to the ref. Look at Pete Carroll.
Dwayne Jarrett set a career high with 144 yards receiving, including 2 more touchdown grabs.
Leinart going to throw again. Throws for Jarrett. Touchdown. Blitz comes. Straight back Leinart. Looking to the end zone. Got Jarrett. Touchdown Trojans.
The defense was led by Lofa Tupu's 11 tackles. Justin Wyatt had an interception off a Dallas Sart's deflection. And defensive end Lawrence Jackson made a pick in the fourth quarter to thwart a Wildcat drive.
Picked off by Jackson for the 35 and finally down.
Tailback Herschel Dennis scored his first touchdown of the year, and USC enjoyed a 49-9 win. The victory clinched the Pac-10 title and a berth in the Rose Bowl, But the Trojans and their fans had loftier ambitions.
I'm Dave Davis, president of the Tournament of Roses and the Rose Bowl. This is Bill Johnstone, who's chairman of the Rose Bowl Management Committee. Congratulations on the Pac-10. We'd love to have you in the Rose Bowl. However, as an SC fan, I just soon see you in Miami.
With a bye week on the schedule, the Trojans had time to rest some injuries and also have some fun.
I had tried to find Snoop earlier in the year to see if he'd be interested in coming out and seeing us, and it wound up he had this TV show that would fit the format just right.
You want to go 5 on?
1, 2, 3.
Thanks so much for calling time, man.
Hey, you get your checks on, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna put my cleats on. You know, I'm gonna put them on when I go out there. I'm gonna run a ride. I'm gonna Mac to throw me a pass, man.
Yeah, I get you.
I gotta get one, man.
On November 27th, a capacity crowd packed the Coliseum to see number 1 USC take on Notre Dame in the 76th meeting of the classic rivals. It would be the last game in the Coliseum for the Trojan seniors.
The Notre Dame game was a great event at the Coliseum, you know, when the schedule swings this way. Having the bye to get ready for it and all that just made it even more fun. And with the high tension of trying to finish the season off undefeated, you know, all of that just added to it. Notre Dame came out ready to go, and they were ready to give us their best shot and started really fast.
Looking to throw, has a man wide open, touchdown.
Notre Dame jumped out to an early 10-3 lead by scoring on its first 2 possessions. Irish fans were hopeful for an upset, but Matt Leinart would put an end to those hopes.
That's a touchdown. Now that's what SC's been doing to opponents all year long.
Leinart and Jarrett had time for one more big play before halftime.
Leinart looking to throw again. Goes to the outside with it. Pass caught by Blaine Jarrett. Gets loose on the sidelines, and he's in there. Touchdown. No flags. Steve Smith threw a huge block to clear the way for Blaine Jarrett, and the Trojans have taken the lead on a 57-yard pass run play.
We just battle, you know, and whether it's to the air, to the ground, or on defense, we find a way to do the right thing.
Hey, listen up! Listen up! It's our last chance this season to paint our house! Make sure these leave here and know this is our house, this is how we're gonna play! Let's go, baby! Make them sound good and envy us!
After the half, the Trojans kept pouring it on.
And the Trojans, look out! Look out! Here comes the pursuit. Irish defender missed him and rushes at the end zone. Touchdown. Burrell missed him. Elliott couldn't run him down. Norm Chow up one. 69 yards.
Steve Smith enjoyed his first game back after a broken leg sidelined him for 5 games.
Leinart kicked it, has a man wide open. Steve Smith, touchdown. Now welcome back, Steve Smith.
And the Trojan junior quarterback needed just one more TD pass to tie a school record.
He's not running a great game. You know, he answered the call to come through for his last shot to Coliseum for the season, and it happens to be that it's prior to the Heisman voting and all the rest in similar fashion as Carson did a couple of years back. You know, Matt came through with a huge game. The guys made the plays for him everywhere and made some catches, and protection looked great, and put together a fantastic game that I think clearly, you know, gave him a better opportunity to win the Heisman.
400 yards passing from Matt Leinart.
The defense shut out the Irish in the second half.
Runs right into the Trojan. Lawrence Jackson, who was hand-fighting with the blocker. As Chick Hearn, the late Chick Hearn used to say at the Lakers broadcast when it seemingly was decided that it's in the refrigerator.
SC USC celebrated a 41-10 victory, their third consecutive 31-point win over Notre Dame.
Let's make sure that we understand how grateful we need to be. If you guys can realize that 4 years ago when we came here and got this thing going, these seniors were here. And they were here when things started to turn around. They've been a huge part. They have been guys that have believed in what we've been doing. They've kept pulling at it, all the way pulling you guys through this thing. They've done a fantastic job taking us to this point. Look, we haven't lost the game in this Coliseum for a long freaking time.
It feels great, man, after all this we've been through together, in season, off season, all the hard work, man. When people ask me, how am I doing, I can only say one thing. Can't complain. Feels good to be number one. Yeah. You guys are my family, and it's been a blessing just to be here. And thank you all for contributing to a wonderful 5 years. You know, and it's special, boys. We're holding on to this thing, and we've got one more game to go, and let's go get this thing.
Hey, let's make sure we understand now. Our work ain't done. It ain't done. We get to go play in the frickin' Rose Bowl next week, boys. Everybody that's going to participate in this game, we're all bringing it. This is a hell of an opportunity. We're playing crosstown, all that stuff. We're going to do our week like we always do. But it's any time you get to play in the Rose Bowl. It's special as hell. Let's go to the Rose Bowl, fellas. Win that game, and let's go to the Orange Bowl, too. You want to do it?
The Trojans return to the Rose Bowl for the Crosstown Showdown with UCLA. The team knew they were one win away from a berth in the Orange Bowl in the BCS title game.
Ladies only ask one time, who's going to answer? The time is now. We're the guys that own the city of Los Angeles. We own these motherfuckers' ass. You gotta let them know. It's only a matter of time.
Reggie Bush got SC off to a fast start.
Ryder gives the ball to Bush. He bounces in there for Finlay. And he's got a first down. He breaks loose. It's a foot race. Down the sidelines. Bush is down to the 5 and spurs as he somersaults into the end zone.
I remember cutting back and you know, at first I wasn't sure if it was going to be just a first down, a big game for us, and then slowly but surely, you know, turned into a long run, and then I got some great blocks. I mean, key block from Dwayne Jarrett, who cracked back on one of the DBs, kind of added a little flip in the end zone towards the end, and just make it a little bit more special, I guess.
Up 10-7 in the second quarter, the Trojans once again gave it to number 5.
This is Reggie Bush, and Bush is gone. Forget it. No flags. Touchdown. 81 yards.
I think he's the best player in college football. Most versatile, does the most. I feel like I have the ability to slow the game down and just try to bring it you know, to my level to where, you know, I almost can see it. It's almost like I can see everything on the field.
Reggie just exploded with a huge run early in the game. He also had another great run later on. Just fantastic effort from Reggie, and just tons of yards he made, and really lit the stadium up, you know, and got us going.
Ryan Killeen kicked his second field goal just before the half to put SC up 20-10 at the break.
Let's go, O-line, let's go. We got something to prove, baby. We got 2 more quarters to prove it, baby. Come on. Let's separate, baby. Separate, O-line. Come on. All right, listen up. First question. Since the day we got on in this program, did we ever say you can win a game in the first half? No. Right, so we'll
all understand now real clearly. From this point on, I know you're feeling it. It feels good to have this game going the way it's going right now. Just get back out there, play 30 more minutes. But here's the key. Let's go, baby. Champion. Let's go, baby. I want you to execute in this half just like we always do. That fourth quarter is just around the corner. Can you wait till we get to the fourth quarter? We're gonna make sure now, all the way through it, in all phases, everybody's executing, playing smart. Turn it up, baby. Turn it up. And when it gets to this point, we want to do things just exactly like we do them.
In the second half, the Trojan senior kicker continued his perfect game.
And through the upright. So the lead on field goals today is 37, 42, and 34.
The real stalwart performance in the game, came from a kicker. Ryan Twain had a terrific football game. And he really finished strong in the season after having some normal kicker type of issues in the middle of the year. Came back in the big games, just took that crazy. Finished on a great streak.
This is his fifth, if he can make it. And he did.
Number 16 scored 17 on a school record, 5 field goals to go along with 2 PATs. The Trojans held off a spirited Bruins comeback late in the fourth quarter. Matt Castle recovered an onside kick.
Caught by Matt Castle, the backup quarterback.
And Jason Leach's interception in the final seconds sealed the deal for the trip to Miami. Final score, Trojans 29, Bruins 24. It was SC's 6th consecutive win over their crosstown rivals.
First off, to hang together all the way through all of this time with all the hype and the pump and all that stuff, and just to stay on focus and stay on course, fellas, is a great accomplishment. And it's a great lesson for us for whatever we're doing in the future here. We've got to hang together no matter what the situation is. If we stay strong, we stay tight, hey, nothing ever going to get between us, fellas. And it's a great illustration of it. And we didn't just do it for a couple days or a couple weeks or a couple months. Fuck, we've been doing it for a whole freaking year, 2 years over there.
We love your energy. We loved you when you were down there 2 years ago, and we're glad you're coming back. So here
And now, without further delay, the Heisman Trust is proud to announce the winner of the 2004 Heisman Memorial Trophy. And the winner is Matt Reinhardt from the University of Southern California.
It was nerve-wracking. When I got to New York, you were sitting there, you want to win the trophy, but I didn't care. But when you're there, you want to win. You're one of the 5 guys left. You want to take that home, but when I won, it was just a sigh of it was just real disbelief. I was kind of in shock. You don't think about it every day when doing that for the Heisman Trophy and winning it.
Started with a BCS dream matchup. Number 1 versus number 2. It was USC taking on an undefeated Oklahoma, and Miami treated both teams like royalty. At the hotel, players were serenaded by the Trojan band and surrounded by the Trojan faithful.
All seniors, send us off on a bang. Let us go, let it all out, play for one another, stay together, and we'll take this home and we'll run away with it, baby.
Right now, we're heading to the beach party. The orange is over there. Big party. Everyone's going to be there. You should be there, too. I'm going to go swimming, though.
All fun aside, the team made final preparations to take on the Sooners. Nothing got in their way.
My biggest concern was how we would match up athletically. So maybe they were so good that they were just better than us athletically, and it might make a difference in the game. But as we got closer to the game, the preparation stayed, in kind of in line like we always hoped it would, and we were focused. We had great work. The guys were just attentive and energetic and responsive throughout the process. Even when we were here, and we went to the week before Christmas, the week after Christmas, and down there in Miami, it just was beautifully done, and so there was no reason by the time we got to the game to think we wouldn't play well.
Hey, when it's all over, come nice and now. This is what's going to be. We're going to be here together. We're going to break it down one time just the way we always do, fellas. Together as one as we started. Remember on that practice field a whole long time ago? Well, we're still in that practice field. Let's finish it with a freaking, what's the name of this field we're playing tonight? Orange Bowl. Stadium, damn it.
4 days into 2005, football fans across the country tuned in for the most highly anticipated BCS title game ever.
Our coach had us prepared for us at that time. We had climax at the right time of the week, to be prepared to play that performance.
The wait is over. Now check this out. I asked you for one thing. All I want you to do is bring your heart. Did we get our heart? What? We got our heart right, ready to go. All night long, fellas. Let's play with one heartbeat. Play together all night. Have a great time. Come on. Tonight, we're ready. We got our side shit. We got our shit. This is night. Hey, this is
The Trojan offense looked sharp on its very first play, but the drive stalled, and Oklahoma promptly went on a 92-yard march.
Play action for White, throws in the end zone, and it is caught. A touchdown, Oklahoma. Travis Wilson, his 10th touchdown catch of the year, and the Sooners take the lead in the national championship game.
Matt Leinart responded by leading the Trojans into Oklahoma territory.
Leinart drops the pass, being chased, rolls left, rush from behind, throws over the middle. It is caught beautifully out at the 50. Steve Smith hangs on to the ball.
First third down, Leinart was looking for me, and he basically slings it in there, and I just, don't make the tough grab going across the middle. I think that kind of propelled us for the whole game, really, just to grab the momentum.
And in a season of highlight plays, Dominique Byrd soared into Trojan lore.
Rolling away from the pressure is Leinart, throws, looking for Dominique Byrd in the end zone. He makes the one-handed catch. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, USC! What a catch by Dominique Byrd!
You see the catch that Dominique made, that was a great play. It was a great play. You see, the guy's got to make plays. He did. Matt threw a ball that was behind him. The design of the play was great, but we were really late getting the ball out, so we had to move to do it. And then he makes a great play making catch like that in the circumstance.
What started was a blitz of points, reminiscent of the 1974 USC Notre Dame game. January 4th, 2005 became a date for the ages.
The kick is away, and it's off the side of Malone's foot. Bounces, takes a Trojan hop down inside the 5, rolls to the 4, and picked up there. The Trojans are going to get the ball. I think inside the 10-yard line. I believe it's SC ball. And now Oklahoma with a serious mistake. Hand off to White. He runs into the line at the 5. He's down towards the 1. He's down towards the goal line. He is in the end zone. Touchdown, USC. The Trojans take the lead.
We broke off their turnovers, which, that was the story of the game. Whoever's going to turn the ball over was not going to win. That's how it is really winning game.
The Trojan defensive line was getting to the Sooners' Jason White, forcing him into poor throws.
Looking downfield down the middle, got Brandon Jones, just lobs one up to nobody in particular, and it is intercepted at the 11-yard line. A horrible decision by Jason White, and the Trojans pick it off, and it's Jason Leach with another interception for USC and turnover number 2 for Oklahoma. What was White thinking?
Leinart then went to work on the Sooner secondary.
Leinart throws a little fade. Jarrett up in the air, makes the catch, comes down with the football. Yes, sir.
We hit him on a fade route, and used him a little bit down, and then went right back after him again to see if we could just get it.
Play action for Leinart, looking long downfield for Jarrett again. He's wide open, makes the catch at the 10. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, USA.
The corner, he went up on a blitz, and I ran right past the safety, and Matt read that. He was doing out when I did it, and I just made the play.
Up 21-7, the Trojan D didn't let up.
White takes in the shotgun on 3rd and 14, being rushed. Throws as he's hit, intercepted, taken by the Trojans. Error credit to 25. He's down inside the 20 to the 15, and tackled at the 10-yard line.
It It took Leinart only 3 plays to put SC up by 3 touchdowns.
Bush comes in short motion this way. Throw over the middle. Smith makes the catch in the end zone. A great catch on a reverse pass. It was behind him a little bit.
Well, when Stevie made his play, it was just no doubt. It was just, this was going to be the night. Things were going to happen and we were rolling. And great players make great plays. And that's how it usually works. And he was really excited to see him come through for the opportunity.
Later in the quarter, Leinart looked for Smith again.
Bush comes in motion to this press box side. Leinart drops the pass. Waiting. Has time. Throwing for Smith in the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, USC!
Just trying to run my routes, as hard and as deep as I could, just do all the little things right. That ain't gonna, take us to that victory.
The Trojans tacked on a last-minute field goal to make the halftime score 38-10. USC was only 30 minutes of football away from making history.
Finish this thing off. How do you want to do it is what's counting right now. As we get out of this half, I want to get fired up group that ain't stopping for nothing. Ain't stopping for nothing. Hey, we just got started on the air. We just got on the air. All we got to do is bring a fucking heart as big as a freaking John Drake right here. We all know we ain't never been won in the first half. Can you win it in the first quarter? No. Can you win it in the second? No. Can you win it in the third? No. Can you win it in the fourth? That's what we're doing. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Trojans on 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, baby. Let's go.
In the second half, the Trojans kept rolling.
Bush goes in motion. 3 receivers left. Throw over the middle. Steve Smith, same play, same result. Touchdown USC. National championship USC.
Leinart's 5th touchdown pass set an Orange Bowl record.
Really, it was just a matter of us making plays. Steve Smith made some great catches. Dominic Bird made a fantastic catch, the first touchdown. And the offensive line gave me all day to throw, and we ran the ball well. It was just one of those things where we were just on fire.
Meanwhile, the Trojan defense had shut down the powerful Sooner offense, limiting Jason White's effectiveness and holding freshman sensation Adrian Peterson in check.
Once I think Coach Carroll, found out what they were trying to do and really, establish our defense. We knew in the end that, it was going to come down to Peterson running the ball, and that's, we wanted to stop, We knew Jason White could hurt us, but Peterson could hurt us much more.
Our top priority, especially at the back end, was to keep everybody in front of you. Don't let them beat us deep. Make them try to inch their way down the field and see if they have enough patience to do it. And basically, it worked out pretty well.
Bush was kept out of the end zone for only the 3rd time all season, but the All-American performer did contribute 149 all-purpose yards.
One of the things I remember with Coach Carroll saying, that if we just stay within our system and do the things that have gotten us this far, they'll just be another team in a white jersey. And that stuck in my mind throughout the whole game.
Tailback Lendell White had been limited in practice due to a severe ankle injury, but he returned with a vengeance.
First time I got the carry, and I felt how physically stronger my whole team was compared to those guys. And I knew kind of the impact we were going to have, and what game was going to get for us that day. And our offensive line, they felt like they were just trying to keep coming to the hole, and they were telling me, we did what we want to the job. And once I heard that from them guys, and it gave me all the confidence in the world that I needed. And it felt like every time I got the ball, it was a gaping hole for me just run through.
White finished the game with 118 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. By the 4th quarter, the game's outcome was not in doubt, and the Trojans started to celebrate. The final seconds ticked off the clock, and USC's 55-19 victory put the finishing touches to a magical season. The Trojans' 13-0 record was the best in school history. The team that started the season number 1 in the nation ended up right on top, and the Trojans were national champions for the 2nd consecutive year.
We played well tonight. We played well on offense, on defense, on special teams. We did it all. result tonight, fellas. You guys talking about the best game they've ever seen a team play. Well, you know what it really was? It's just us playing football. It's just the way we do our stuff. Ain't nothing. It's just the way we do it. This will be a great night for us. Everybody take care of business. We got a little something to sing. It's all children. They're getting showered up. And they're so pissed and sad over there. Let them hear us sing. Fight on the sea. I'm gonna fight on the victory. Oh, my dear. It's up to you. Fight on the win for all the seas. Fight on the victory. Fight on. Fight on for all the sea. I'm gonna fight on the victory. Oh, my dear. It's up to you. Fight on the win for all the seas. Fight on the victory. Fight on. One last time. Make it so freaking loud and fucking move on. Trojans on three. 1, 2, 3.
Boy, what a dominating performance over Oklahoma in the national championship game. And I must tell you, as an alumni, it gives me a great sense of pride and satisfaction to know the USC Trojans are back on top. The national championship trophy is back where it belongs in Heritage Hall. And this time, folks, there is no doubt.
After the season, 3 prominent players had a tough decision to make. Stay at USC for their senior season or enter the NFL draft. Linebacker Lofa Tatupu decided to go into the NFL. Then it was time for punter Tom Malone and quarterback Matt Leinart to make their announcements.
You know, I'm blessed to be in a position right now where either way, I'm going to have a degree from such a great university and to be in this situation. I really went back and forth on it. You know, it's been a dream, I think, it's everybody to go play on Sundays and be able to do that and to be drafted and just to be able to support myself and help my family out. But after thinking about it, you know, I'm excited to come back for another year at SC.
First, I just want to thank everybody coming out here and supporting me through all this, and thank you for being patient with my decision. It's been a very difficult one. First, I want to thank my dad and all my family and coach and everyone who's helped me through this process, to making this decision today. I think the most important thing I've learned about this week is that to do what's best for myself and my family, and to gather information and take it in, but ultimately, do what makes me, do what's going to make me happy. And furthermore, I've announced I will be coming back for my 5th year. This was definitely the toughest decision of my life. I realized the opportunity right now to support my family by going to the NFL early, but to me, I think college football and this whole atmosphere here, being with my friends and my teammates that I've been with for 4 years, is ultimately more satisfying and will make me happier than any amount of money could make someone happy. So I feel very confident. I'm very excited about the opportunity to come back and play another year here and be in college one more year. It's the best time of my life, and I've had the most fun being at SC my last 4 years than I ever had. So I plan on being back here next year and hopefully to just be a leader again and hopefully win again. Thank you.
Now the only question is, can the Trojans make it a 3-peat, 3 titles in a row?